Well, if you look at this number up close, it's easy to read. But if you go back a bit and maybe let's say you're driving in your car or looking at it from across the street, it might not be as easy for you to read. That's right, John Aaliyah. I'm out here on 9th Street, just right behind my marathon. Now, if you take a look behind me, you'll see we are right here where there is a structure fire. Well, John, that execution took place at 8:07 this morning. Now, News 10's Heather Good was inside the room. She joins us live this morning. Heather, talk to me about what it was like in his final moments. This is how this works. All you have to do is drive up in your vehicle, roll down your window, and a doctor will come out to you. Now, here's the best part. You don't even have to get out of your car.
It's one of the many tools that staff are using in Vigo County. That's to keep your child safe.
Because of the quarantine, traditional dinner dates are starting to look a little bit like this. But I'm going to give you a live look of what they're doing now. Follow me. So we're going to go through here to the back, and you will see that people are already getting these bouquets ready to go. But that's the exact opposite of what staff are trying to do right here at Regional Hospital. Now, come inside and take a look at what they're doing.
On TikTok, you'll find dances just like this, but don't get too distracted by the dance moves. What you should be focused on is your privacy rights. TikTok is a Chinese-owned company. That means users must agree to a certain level of privacy being exposed. That's in order to enjoy all of the features. That includes access to your location, browsing history, and camera roll. And while that may seem alarming, most apps actually have that access already. The biggest concern is who owns the company and what they can do with that information. In fact, it's caused such concern that President Donald Trump has stepped in, putting a ban on the app. With that being said, if it's not bought out in the next 40 days by an American company, you could say goodbye to it all. Cybercrime expert Bill Mackey says with a bad track record with China, red flags are definitely raised.
In reality, it's not invading your privacy any more than any of the other apps. It's simply who has access to that data and what are they going to do with it. So China might use that to infiltrate different people, networks, government employees in the U.S. Given China's history with us, that is one of the specific reasons why it is much more dangerous for them to be able to get access to this information.
Now, we'll see if in the next 40 days the company is bought out. Otherwise, you may have to use other platforms to show off your new dance moves. In a situation like this, you want to know how it happened, why it happened, and who's responsible for it happening. Over the weekend, reports came in from neighbors about what they thought was an abandoned home and a dog that was trapped inside, leaving the animal with no food or water. They say they tried to reach out to authorities with no luck. This is their side of the story. On the other side of this, the Humane Society says the dog was originally adopted from the shelter, which means if reported properly, it could have been returned back to the shelter. Now, I went there myself, and the manager says they couldn't go into the home to save the dog, and here's why.
You can't just go out and go banging on the door or busting a door down. We're not allowed to do anything off the property. If there's an animal on our property that's loose that somebody has let go or has come running over from the neighborhood, we can, get it. But if it's off the property, it's out of our hands.
I then reached out to the Terre Haute Police Department with more questions. Here's what they told me. According to code enforcement, they last saw the dog on Monday, June 29th. They say it was in good condition and healthy. 2 messages were left with code enforcement over the weekend by neighbors with concerns. They only work Monday through Friday, and it was not heard until just yesterday. By then, it was too late. Code enforcement says they are further investigating this issue. If you'd like to report issues of this nature, you can head over to our website. That's WTHITV.com. In the newsroom, Jordan Kudisch, News 10.
That's right, Aaliyah. Actually, according to AAA, today is one of the highest chances of getting into an accident on the roadway, and that's because there are so many drunk drivers on the road. In fact, I have a special guest with me this morning. This is Sergeant Matt Ames with Indiana State Police. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Jordan.
Just talk to me about why on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, there are so many accidents with drunk driving.
Well, we have a large volume of people that are out traveling during the festivities that are going on for the evening. But what we need people to do is make good decisions. Last year in the state of Indiana, we worked 4 fatalities. All those were related to DUIs, and we had 28 DUI arrests just for the Indiana State Police alone statewide.
And would you say that those numbers were higher than what you've seen in the past?
Well, absolutely. For just a 2-day weekend, taking that many DUIs and that many fatalities in that short span of time is something that we need to just be able to prepare by making sure that you're having a designated driver and making sure you're making appropriate staying places for the evening.
Absolutely. And what would be a good New Year's resolution for people here in the Wabash Valley?
The best New Year's resolution someone can have is just don't drink and drive, and make sure you have a designated driver.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Absolutely stay sober this holiday and get a ride home if you can. For now, reporting live in Terre Haute, Jordan Kudisch, News 10.